Hi, welcome to Ashtabula Hobby Talk. I am your host, Rikus, a comic book enthusiast and comic book store owner, Captain's Comics in North Kingsville, Ohio. And I'm here with Nemo.
Hi, my name is Nemo, also host and president of Amigos Radio Club Ashtabula and amateur radio enthusiast. And hey, man, you've got some great news for us tonight, huh?
Well, lots of news, but it's teetering on a thread of rumor. I mean, it's potential to be enormous, but I mean, rumors. It's not quite official, but San Diego Comic Con, there's rumor that Robert Kirkman is going to drop a huge amount of information regarding his next project.
Well, Robert Kirkman, isn't he part of Image?
He's actually one of the founder of Image, but he didn't find Image technically. They brought him into the fold much years later when they were formed and established.
So so if he's going to do something big, what brands would he be bringing in to Image? What do they have
Well,
IP
currently
over?
Robert Kirkman is known for Walking Dead,
Okay,
and
I'm binge watching that right now.
that catapulted him into a megastar in the comic book industry. And after that, he did Invincible and these other things. And he's another show that he did was Outcast, but that didn't get quite the fame that he did with Invincible or Walking Dead. But the thing that's not rumor that is fact is he's is now launching a new comic book title called Skinbreaker,
Okay,
and he's writing that, and I think he's got creative rights to it, but he's also has David Finch as the artist. And David Finch is another big name. So Robert Kirkman and David Finch combined together, it's bound to be something epic.
so a couple big guys with some good writing and some good graphic skills there, and I'm glad to hear that they're teaming up.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well,
people with talent, and they're not just coughing up over the AI,
yeah,
making it happen that
no.
way.
David Finch is no one new to Image comic books. He was mostly dabbed around in Top Cow Comics and a bunch of other things, and his wife usually does his coloring for him. I'm not sure if his wife is on board with this new project. I didn't look into the details of the colorist, but David Finch is the top name with Robert Kirkman.
So what are we talking about here? If he's dropping something big,
Well, the rumor has it in San Diego Comic Con next month, he's going to reveal that his next animated project is going to be the Energon Universe.
wait, you mean like Transformers?
Transformers, G.I. Joe, and maybe something else. There's always been rumored that there's going to be another Hasbro product into Energon Universe, but so far it's mainly G.I. Joe and Transformers.
So growing up, obviously, I was a big fan of GI Joe and Transformers. That's a huge base of characters to pull from.
It's every 80s childhood childhood.
Absolutely. I mean, at least the ones that didn't watch Smurfs and My Little Ponies.
Well, I watched Smurfs. I didn't watch My Little Pony, but Smurfs. I mean,
I had six sisters. I had to compromise.
okay. I thought it was kind of weird with the Smurfs, but I mean, little green blue guys. I was partially colorblind, so they didn't look fully blue to me.
But still, that's a huge, thing that, and it kind of makes sense. So obviously it's not official yet, but it's going to be Hasbro because it's Hasbro all the way, isn't it?
It is licensed by Hasbro, and Robert Kirkman bought the license to write these stories. It was published underneath IDW before. Then before that, Marvel had them. So Transformers and GI Joe's been around in comic books for a long, long time, and now it's underneath the Image umbrella, underneath Skybound. And Robert Kirkman hasn't really had a writing uh, credit to it, but he put it underneath his umbrella, and he's looking after it, and he's producing it, and he's monitoring it. But after in October, I think it is, Transformers will be hitting issue 25, and Robert Kirkman's taken a writing credit for the rest of the comic books for unforeseen future.
So are we looking at him drawing from the original '80s? Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, like the movies were,
Yes
and
and
the
no.
GI Joe '80s. I mean, because the both movie sets, and I'm fans of both of them. At least the first GI Joe, anyway, and most of the Transformers stuff. Um, at least the first one, for sure. Both of those were like sort of true to canon, as it were.
Right.
So is that where he's going from
He's
with
pulling
it?
a
Do we
lot.
think?
Yeah, he's pulling a lot from that, and I think there's a lot of that in there. And but he's also he, his writing techniques is pretty wild. Like in Walking Dead, he's killing off characters, people that you know and love, and he builds the character up, and then he just takes it away from you. And he's done that with Walking Dead. He's done that with Invincible, and he hasn't done that too much with Transformers because he's not writing it, but he's overlooking the whole project. But I have a feeling there's a big story arc coming with Daniel William Johnson. He's the writer of the Transformers right now. His story arc is going to end in October, and it looks like it's going to take a big story arc for that to happen. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of devastation, a lot of destruction, and then Robert Kirkman's going to step in and build it back up, and probably be Robert Kirkman, and we're going to get some wild storylines where it's going to get brutal.
So I guess I can say, thank God it's not another multiverse,
Yeah,
and that he's actually just going to build on what is being destroyed, so to speak.
exactly.
Um, and that's going to be great. It'll be really interesting to see how he pulls like the whole military side and the sci-fi side together for the series. I kind of feel like they were going in that direction with the Transformers through the movies.
Right.
With they had the and I can't remember 'em off the top of my head, but they had the military squad that was serving with the Autobots that was helping hunt down Decepticons. It was kind of like that sort of thing.
Right.
Is that kind of the way we're going with that? Do you think?
They were already introduced. They were like 2 years into this shared universe right now in the comic book. Um, the animated show, I don't know a whole lot of details. Like I said, it's just a rumor, and we're not going to get any facts until next month if this is happening. Which Robert Kirkman has a history of advertising in a not so average way. He takes the more obscure route. Like when he was trying to sell The Walking Dead, he brought it to him as a zombie movie or a comic book, and he wasn't he wasn't a founder of Image at the time, so he was trying to sell it to the producer of Image. He's like, "Hey, I got this idea of a zombie comic book, and it's gonna be great. Here's all my characters," and the Jim Valentino at the time was the Image producer. He's looking at it, and he's like, "Well, I'm looking at a bunch of zombie comic books and they're not doing so well. If there's another angle that you're going to take on it, I'm not going to sign this on for a comic book." And Robert Kirkman's like, "Oh, I didn't tell you that the aliens were going to be involved in this, and it's all a big UFO takeover Earth thing, and the zombies is just like a front, and I'll be dropping hints on issue one of all these things, and you're not going to know it's aliens until much later on." And that intrigued Jim Valentino. He's like, "Oh, that's much better than just your average zombie comic book. Sure, publish away." And so that was a bit of a lie from Robert Kirkman just to sell his comic book because he knew he had something genuine he wanted to tell. And the only way to do it was maybe a little white lie.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm glad he's got the series out there. I haven't read the comic books, but the television series is great. The AMC series, I've watched it. I think I'm on my third time through the core Walking Dead now, and I just started working on the Negan episodes again, and I'm probably gonna binge watch Fear the Walking Dead before too long.
Yep.
which I also liked. It was different. It wasn't exactly what you were thinking.
Hmm.
But I like some of the actors that are in that series too. So as soon as I get and I got like another season and a half to go through or whatever for where I'm at before I start into that. So that's cool. But some of those actors led me into other shows too. Um, so I guess uh, is there room for spin-offs here? I mean, I know we're talking early. Um, but if you're putting GI Joe and the Autobots, well, Transformers together,
Yeah.
they're the Transformers themselves had a ton of side quest thingy movies, where they
Right.
would
Are you talking about the comic book format or the video?
well, both, but the video specifically because that's what we're talking about. I'm coming out with right now.
Right. Well, I can't say from the comic book. There's already been spin-offs. There's been a Cobra Commander solo series, a Duke solo series. There's been um, mostly on the GI Joe front of all the spin-offs. It all started with the Void Rivals comic book that Robert Kirkman didn't announce that it was going to be Energon's shared universe. He's like, "Oh, check out this Void Rivals comic book. And it's about these two alien races." And then he hinted uh, Jet Scream or Jetfire in the comic book, and it shocked everyone. It was like, "Oh, did I mention this was going to be Transformers and GI Joe shared universe?" Oh yeah, well it is. So he sold it as a Void Rivals comic book, and then splintered off into GI Joe and Transformers. And we have Scarlet comic book coming out, or that already came out. Uh, Destro, he has his own comic book now. So the comic books are already spinning off into uh, little areas. But as for the animated, the TV show that's rumored to come out, I would think it would be best worked as two different shows first, Transformers and GI Joe, because I'm not sure how it's going to work with just one long show, uh, going back and forth between GI Joe and Transformers, unless they're more of a team base, like GI Joe and Transformers are in share a base or something. I'm not sure how it's going to go.
Well, I think I'd like to see them not follow the Marvel path because, and don't get me wrong, I understand why they did what they did, but they did Captain America and they did Iron Man and they did Spider Man and then they started bringing them all together. I don't think they need to go that route with this. I think they just need to do 2, 3 introductory episodes and then hit the ground running. This is who G.I. Joe was. We all know it. There's a history.
Right.
These are who the Transformers are. We all know that's the history. They don't need an origin story for
Right.
each and every single G.I. Joe person. I mean, if you tried to do that and then turned it into a blended universe TV show, you'd be doing origin stories on everybody for the first
Right.
6 seasons. And we don't need that. We all know who Optimus Prime is. We all know
Right.
who Duke is. Let's go get him.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
I'll tell you what I would be looking forward to, and I would love to see this, is like Starscream and his guys versus some good old fashioned USA jet fighter dogfighting. That would be that would be really cool to watch some GI Joe guys and that.
Some sky fights, huh?
Yeah,
That'd be cool. Take it off the ground. There's a lot of ground based to do. They got tanks, and Mirage is awesome. I loved Mirage as a kid. I thought he was like one of the coolest.
yeah. I will have to say I thought, and I know there's people who are gonna say no, I love those, but I thought when they started going with the Garanimals, I mean the the what was it, the
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars stuff.
Oh man.
I couldn't handle it. I know they were trying to show off all the new 3D animation stuff that they
Right.
really wanted to get people into, but the writing wasn't as good as say what you want about the original
Hmm.
cartoon shows that were put on there. Yeah, it was blocky, it was quick animation stuff, but hand drawn, all that. But the writing was okay. The
Right.
writing was good, and it brought you into the story if you watched it a little bit.
See, I got a bit of a story with Beast Wars.
Okay.
I never watched it when it came out because at the time it came out, I was just now getting out of school or whatever, and cartoons was not like part of my criteria. I was doing other things now, so I knew the Transformers Generation One and all that stuff when it came out, and then when it ended, I was like, okay, I moved on. And Beast Wars came out. I knew it was out there, but I never watched an episode of it. And I'm introducing all these Transformers to my kids. I'm like, oh, we watched all the Transformers, and then I found the Beast Wars box set. I was like, oh, this would be cool. I can watch this with my kids, and it'll be new to me and be new to my kids. I bought it, took it home, watched one episode, and I was like, yeah, I can't watch this.
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
No, it maybe it was I didn't watch it during the time frame it came out, and so the graphics and everything and grew, but that did not, and it stayed in that time frame. And see, I don't know what would happen if I watched it when I was young, but I watched it when I was an adult. I'm like, no, this. I tried forcing myself to watch one or two more episodes after that, and then it's just on my shelf collecting dust.
Yeah, see, I still go back and watch the old original
Oh yeah,
episodes, and
and the soundtrack was amazing for the movie.
and it was, one of the things that they did a lot more with the Energon stuff in the original cartoon series, I think, than they did, because in the original cartoon series, sort of all of it was Energon was everything,
Mm-hmm.
and and a lot of they spent a lot of time harvesting Energon because being an Autobot or being a Decepticon takes a lot of energy,
Oh yeah,
and there was a whole tons and tons of those episodes were about we just need to get more Energon, and that maybe that was timely for the time of that era where people were like, oh, we need to relate to the fuel crises and the energy crises that was going on. So maybe that's why they were writing it into the storylines. I'm sure that played a part of it.
oh yeah.
Um, I do like though when they got to the movies, they were like, no, Energon is this thing that we can use to make Autobots and Decepticons, Transformers, and all we have to do is give it a little bit, and that becomes a thing. Your toaster now is something.
Oh yeah. Toaster, video controller. I think we had.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of things running around. Wasn't there a refrigerator?
Yep. Yep.
That was awesome.
It's pulling my hair. It was I did appreciate that they were showing that,
Mm-hmm.
but not making it the biggest thing because, like,
Right.
oh, we have one. One is enough. One is enough. You know what I mean? They said, oh, here's the Energon cube. Here's the Allspark, whatever.
Allspark.
And all we need is this, and that's enough to basically turn the whole planet if we needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the cartoons, they were like focused on it,
Right.
which wasn't horrible, wasn't a bad thing, but that was like one of the biggest differences I saw between those
Right.
two.
I think they had to have something to battle over, and it gave more episodes for them to find new ways to fight over energons.
So, how do you think Robert Kirkman is going to bring, like, because that leads into, well, now we're making it more relevant for the new generation. So, how is he going to bring this in and make it more relevant for what the audience that's going to be out there for it?
I think keep the same formula as the animated movie. You get your good soundtracks in. I think what I took from the movie was like, wow, the music was impactful, the storyline was impactful. It had everything you needed for a good, solid show.
So, you mean like the Transformers animated movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was great. I actually went to see that in the theaters. I didn't wait for it to come on VCR
Right.
or DVD streaming.
And there's all kinds of
Streaming to
new
keep up with
music
the
that
times.
no one heard of on it. I mean, you had,
Yeah.
and it was really awesome. I mean, I think when people think about the movie, they think about the music too. I mean, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, it was great.
So I would like Robert Kirkman to actually focus in and give us new music with this new animation styles of everything.
and
just keep it fresh.
Can we, and don't get me wrong, I like AC/DC, but can we pick other music, please?
Absolutely. I think it needs to be a fresh batch of music
How
that
about Queen? Can we put Queen in there?
I think it needs to be better than Queen. Not better than Queen, but different, more fresh.
Well, I don't think it would be.
If you want to speak to this generation, it's got to be something new to this generation, and not rehash it out in something old.
Gotcha. You want newer modern soundtrack.
I mean, I
can't
don't.
pick
I
it.
love the old stuff.
Right. I'm classic too, and as far as that
But
stuff goes.
you said if you want to have something fresh for the new generation, I think this would be great to have the new music on there,
Yes.
and maybe a
Yes.
little bit of the old stuff because it's nostalgic to us as '80s kids.
Sure. And that's sort of the market too, because I mean, honestly, you know, I would think your market is people like us who are, you know, in our 40s, 50s, and, you know, some of us have kids and grandkids, taking our kids, or me, in my case, would be taking my grandkids with me to the movie to watch the movie with them because it's new for them. And then we can get into the older stuff and like, hey, this is the same stuff, but when I was a kid, you know,
Right.
kind of go back through it.
I also think Kirkman's gonna put more of a graphic spin on it. It's gonna be his style's brutal. I think there's gonna be a little bit more violence, a little bit more heartache. So
Is he going to kill Optimus Prime, you think?
he already died once.
Yeah, that's true. And they brought him back in the junkyard for the
Yep.
movie theater. I watched that movie too. I watched them all. Um, the there's a lot of characters in there though. I hope they get the IP for all the good ones.
Yeah. In the comic book right now, I don't want to give any spoilers, but Optimus Prime is walking around with Megatron's gun on his arm, his whole arm, Megatron's arm. He's walking around with that on his arm.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I would like them to actually bring Omega Supreme back. That was one of my favorite ones, and that was one of my favorite toys.
Oh yeah.
Because you know he was bigger than all the other
was
ones.
huge.
He was huge. He was almost 3 feet tall, and you
Mhm.
could stuff a couple of Transformers in him and carry him over to your friend's house and play Transformers. We would play GI Joes too, but a lot of them ended up getting destroyed. You know, we were
Right.
young back then, and not to encourage anybody to do these things, but we used to put M80s on them and launch them on bottle rockets and all kinds of stuff back then. But
I have a
I would imagine there's probably going to be a new toy line coming out that
Mhm.
would be, you know, with that any good series or movie that's coming out, that's got to be part of the plan.
Yep. I have a comic book store in North Kingsville, Ohio, and about 80 to 90% of the people that come in that are my age always have that regret. Like, oh yeah, I had these toys. They're worth something now, but I shot them with BB guns, and you know, they always have this tragic story with their toys coming to an end. And that's probably why they're worth a lot more now, is because they're trying to get them back, and now they destroyed them as a kid, and they're trying to buy them now.
I can't count how many GI Joes, even the 12-inch GI Joes from the original 12 inches. I probably blew up 5 of those, and you know, I know how much they are worth now, and I'm not kicking myself for it because I was, you know, 12, 13 years old, whatever. But even the mini ones, the miniatures that they used to have, we used to go buy those for, oh, what, $2-3 a piece,
Mhm.
and we'd buy 10 of them on a weekend, and we'd use them, we'd play with them. Back then, action figures were the thing. They don't really make action figures like that anymore, do they?
I'm an action figure collector, and there's different companies that make different kind of styles of them. Todd McFarlane has his own production toy company, and those are more statue figurines. You pose them, you put on your shelf, and they only look good at a certain pose, which is amazing. I mean, the artwork on them, the details that Todd McFarlane puts on them is amazing. But then Hasbro's redoing their own stuff, and they're paying a lot of tributes to the old styles.
Well, hopefully Hasbro goes with good quality toys, because I know that I watch a couple other podcasters that talk about toys and how they're supposed to come out with high quality toys, and like especially on the Marvel side, like they just did this
Right.
big thing with Spider-Man, where Spider-Man was supposed to be a big high quality toy, and it kind of came out as something you'd find in an Ollie's.
Well, I'll tell you, whatever Kirkman has cooked up, I'm on board. So,
Well, hopefully it's gonna work out. So, hey, that's kind of it. I guess we should do some announcements, and then we'll wrap it up. So, hey, I just have a few. We have obviously I'm amateur radio, so we've got the Ashtabula County Ham Fest coming up here, and that's going to be July 19th, and it's going to be at Pioneer Picnic, 1809 Middle Road. So anybody who's interested in amateur radio or other hobby stuff, come on out, check us out. We'll have on-site testing, all kinds of stuff like that going. Fun stuff for the kids. There's a playground there, everything. We'll have food, all that. It'll be great. This weekend, July 28th and 29th, we're going to be Amateur Amigos Radio Club Ashtabula is going to be out at Geneva State Park doing ARRL Field Day. I know we talked about that a little bit a couple episodes back. So please come out and join us. And
I'll be there. So stop in and say hi to us.
Yeah, absolutely. You have no obligation to stay, but we'll learn a little bit about radio. That's part of what we're doing here. And also, we've got an Amish benefit dinner coming up here, chicken dinner. Helps benefit the Amish community. They have a big benefit dinner, usually about once a month, and the donations that come to it go to help out Amish folks in the neighborhood, in the community, paying for medical bills and stuff, because they pay cash for their medical bills, and they that's one of the ways they raise funds to do it. It's going to be a tough weekend, but it's going to be July 4th between 4 and 8 p.m. The address to that place is going to be 7237 Hamden's Corners Road over in Pierpont. That's not very far down the road. Just go straight down Route 7 till you see the signs. There'll be signs all over the place for it. You got any announcements tonight?
Yeah, I would like to thank Dr. Ben for helping us out, doing the production wise, because Andrew couldn't make it today.
Big plus to Dr. Ben. Thank you. Please check out his YouTube channel.
Yeah, his YouTube channel is Dr. Ben. What was it?
Dr.
Ben Comics.
All right.
With an X. And you can find his comic books at my store. We have like a little indie section, and he has a couple new ones that he put out there about a month ago. So they're fresh, and check them out. You can find Nemo at the Wednesday Night Joke Net.
Yeah, please check out my YouTube channel, Wednesday Night Joke Net. That's every Wednesday night. If you are a licensed amateur radio operator, there is an echo link for that if you're not in Ashtabula County, and that is W8IJC-L. Log in, check us out, and participate in the net.
You can find me at Captain's Comics in North Kingsville, Ohio. And since we did the show, I had a couple people come in and talk about Beatles and Elvis, and it was great conversations to be had. I look forward to more people coming in and talking.
All right. Just want to thank Evergreen Lake Campground and my friend Dan, NADRL, for all the support he's given us. Also like to thank Joe from Cups and Stuff. He's the guy who made the signs here. Check him out. He's got a little website going, and he can check out his YouTube channel. I believe it's Joe KEADNF on YouTube. Check him out too. And all our wives, XYLs, who put up with us on our geeky hobbies. Thank you much for putting up with us too.
And keep watching, subscribe, and like. And in the future, we'll probably have Dr. Ben come in here and talk about his comics.
All right. That'd be great. Have him take third chair for a little bit.
Yep.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Dr. Ben, again. And good night, everybody.